over, but the reason you'll see why I want to use it in a minute. Exactly 2 years ago, right about now, I experienced two of the most frightening things I've ever experienced in my life. The first one that I want to tell you about is that I ran the Boston Marathon, and a couple minutes after I finished it, I turned around and got to watch two bombs blow up and all hell break loose, and it took me a long time to get over that. The reason I'm using that as a little metaphor is because people often say that running a business or doing anything hard is like running a marathon. And you certainly have unexpected and sometimes terrible things happen to you. The second thing that happened almost at the same time is that, and I did this to myself, I decided to take all of my savings, cash out my IRA, and basically hold it in my arms and jump off a cliff and open a restaurant. Why I did that? Well, I started out as an artist. I used to be a graphic designer and an illustrator and an art director. I lived in the Northeast. I lived in Boston, Washington, D.C., New York City, and I also went to school in Vermont. All the time I was doing that, I was visiting various restaurants and finding some of my favorites here and there. And in the back of my mind, I always had this idea that I would like to have my own little restaurant. But instead, I had a career as an art person for 10 years. I finished up with 4 years as an art director at a fashion catalog company in Washington, D.C. I moved back here. My husband wanted to come back here to practice law. I spent 20 years raising 4 children and doing a lot of volunteer work, especially in the arts. I started a small nonprofit to teach classroom teachers how to integrate art into their classrooms, and then I decided to get a master's degree in art education. I also taught art to kids after school and did summer camps. I got my teaching license and discovered that because of cuts in funding and the testing situation in the public schools, which you may or may not know about if you have younger kids, there was never going to be a job for me doing what I wanted to do, which was something that I loved, teaching art. I am an artist, but that wasn't going to happen. So I thought, okay, what am I going to do now? I'm getting kind of old, and I think I have one more shot, and I need to pick something good. What do I love to do? Well, I love to cook. I love to entertain. I'm pretty good at it. I'm partly self-taught, partly taught by my mother, whose profession it was. I did not go to culinary school, and I never, ever thought I would do this. But like I said, I jumped off a cliff, and I did it. And that's where I am today. So what do we do? What are we all about? Hartford Square is a small cafe. We have 22 seats inside, 28 seats outside. We have a beautiful patio. We specialize in food that can be eaten there or taken out. We do catering. We do breakfast, lunch, and dinner to go. We're open from 6:30 to 6:30 every day through the week, and then for brunch hours on Sunday and Saturday. I work pretty much 14 to 16 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week. I don't love that. I do love what I do. What's special about our restaurant? We change our menu every week. I base what we do on what's locally available. I work with as many local farmers and growers and small batch food producers as I possibly can. As much of what we can do is organic. We use a lot of very healthy ingredients. Our food is freshly made every day. We do our own baking. Notes, glasses. We provide a lot of choices for people. We have a lot of people who come in and ask, do you have something gluten-free? Do you have something vegetarian? Do you have something dairy-free? We have a very small menu, but we try to have things to offer for pretty much everybody except the people who can't eat anything but water and maybe oatmeal. We have oatmeal too. It's really important to me, besides working with local growers and showcasing what they've got to offer and what local food producers have to offer, is to just be a part of the community, a part of the local food community and a part of the neighborhood and a part of the community. We donate a lot of meals and catering and things like that. We have events at our space. What else have we done? We now have a beer and wine license. We're trying to grow the afternoon and early evening part of our business. We provide I think real convenience along with all of this, because you can call ahead and get a quick something to go. We can do something for your office. I mean, we work with people, and I think that we're getting to the point where I think we're doing a pretty good job. We continue to take a lot of input from our customers. I think we've improved our product quite a bit in the past 2 years and the services that we provide. And that's, I think, pretty much it. Okay, and the thing I was hoping that we could get to when we do the questions and answers, if you would like to know about what I think some of our successes are, I can go into that, but I'd also like to talk about what my challenges are right now, above and beyond sort of the boilerplate stuff that all small business owners deal with and all restaurant owners deal with. Something that I feel the real need for right now is some sort of mentoring situation. I mean, I'm happy to mentor others, but I also need mentoring, and it's hard to find in this business, and or an actual partner or group of partners, either a silent partner, somebody who could help me get some of the work done that I can't quite get to, possibly an investor, a small investor. Another challenge right now is that we've been working on it, but I would like to be able to hone our marketing tactics even more so. We've been using a lot of technology and social media, and I've gotten some good help, but we need to continue to work on that. Also, just to be able to work more on my business and not quite so much in my business. Sometimes it's tempting to just cook because I love that, but I know that that's not what my end goal is. And the other thing is that now we're almost 2 years old, and we're getting to the point where we really need to be in a growth phase. I would like to see us start to turn a profit, not just sort of meet our bills, but exceed them, become profitable, expand a little bit at our current location, both possibly size-wise, but also what we have to offer, and then also looking down the road, possibly add more locations. I don't know. So those are the things that I'd like to get some feedback about and some help with.
Turn that down a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Questions for Sarah? I do have one.
Yes.
You said you loved it. What has been the most surprising thing that you found that you love that you didn't think you would even think about?
Oh, I don't know. That's hard. Oh, I'm sorry. What is the most surprising thing that I love about this that I didn't expect? I think just how wonderful people are. I mean, we've had some real jerks come in, but 99.9% of the people who I meet, both as vendors and as customers, have just been wonderful people who have been so supportive and kind and helpful. And I wasn't sure I didn't know that would happen.
It's because you're in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's because I'm in Albuquerque. Yes.
I'm wondering if you know who your competition is, how much they charge for a plate, what their food tastes like, and you check out the competition.
All the time.
How do you do that?
I go there. Before I opened, I checked out the specific competition within a half-mile radius in my sort of general niche, and I spent many, many hours sitting there counting how many people got takeout versus how many people stayed, what they got, how much it cost. I did a ton of that, and I continue to visit all the new places that are opening, within a several-mile radius that do anything remotely like what we do. Yes?
One of the things you mentioned was wanting to get the time to work on your business instead of your business. So what are you doing to set up systems and policies and procedures for your staff so that you can do that?
That's been an ongoing project, and I think we were about halfway there. I have the employee manual halfway written. We do have I feel good enough about the systems that I can actually leave town every once in a while, and they do okay without me, which I think is huge. But we still have a ways to go with getting it all set in stone. And I know you're supposed to treat your business, if you want it to be successful, as if it was something that could be franchised. In other words, it's in a book, and you can hand it to somebody and say, here, do this. And we're getting there, but I still I have a long way to go with it still. Yes. Oh, sorry.
So you did research for competitive kind of features. What competitive advantage do you think you have, or are you looking for one, or do you even need one?
Well, the things that I listed, I think that we offer, small batch cooking, organic. We really emphasize the local aspect and the changing menu, which nobody else does that I know of. Does that?
I mean, it's your answer.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong.
Okay. No, I just wasn't sure. Okay. I'm sorry. Who was the?
So you donated coffee to this 1 million cups?
I partially donated.
Partially donated. Have you thought about getting on Meetup and approaching a lot of the Meetup groups locally, just simply to say, all the same thing, discounted coffee, completely unique and different things every time you meet. Come here, come to Meetup Center downtown.
I don't even know what Meetup is. So thank you. I'll look into it. Anybody else in the back?
What about any kind of outreach that you tried with the New Mexico Restaurant Association? I know in the past I've tapped in for opportunities to have, that you're choosing, but mentors. You mentioned a missing resource was mentors.
Yeah.
Consider the New Mexico Restaurant Association as maybe the network to choose from or to help facilitate that?
I haven't been aware that they offered that. I could investigate that. So far, the only people who I've reached out to have been a few other restaurant owners that I know who have been pretty helpful, but they're also very, very busy. And but I could look into that, definitely. Okay, thanks.
I was just going to add on to another organization for women entrepreneurs. It's Hopepreneurs.
Right. Yes. Why haven't I done that?
It's
Hope.
for women entrepreneurs.
Haute. Hopepreneurs. Over here.
Well, two things. Number one, that slide, I've had those eggs. Don't have them. That's horribly torturing. Number two, there's another organization called SCORE.
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 Okay.
And, it's a Society of Retired Executives.
Oh.
So their mission is, in fact, to help small businesses.
I've heard of them, but I didn't know their name.
SCORE.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to make the same suggestion because there's two people. They have about 35 counselors over there, but they have two that are specifically have restaurants.
Oh, really?
Of course, then you've got SVEDC, South Valley Economic Development Corp., which is the commercial kitchen here, and they have 3 or 4 clients. West is another women's organization.
I've used West is actually who helped me
They
get
have
started.
3 or 4
Yeah.
major clients that are restaurant owners. So if you're
Okay.
looking for restaurant sort of mentoring, there's lots of resources. I have a list of all of them. So
Okay, I'll get that from you if I could. Yes. We do now. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I live around the block, and we're always looking for like a food hub or some sort of a hangout place that's open a little bit later that has, some of the local breweries. So that's something we may want to look into. We call it Brewers Guild, and get in some of the local breweries that would be more than happy to even use cans, because a lot of the beers are canned now, and we could stay open a little bit later and sort of with the local community, they want to ride our bikes and go, have dinner and hear. Like if you're closing at 6:30, that's sort of tapping you at. Not that you want to stay at work any longer.
Your idea is something that's part of my hoping to grow in the space we're in. You're totally exactly what I'm thinking. The thing is, I would like to, when I say I'd like a partner, I would want a different chef to come in and do dinner, if we did dinner. Okay. But we do all local beers and wines, nothing but New Mexico beers and wines. And I'm also trying to showcase them as well. And Marble has been really supportive. St. Clair Winery has been really supportive. And I would really like to do a lot more with that. Yes, that's... Yeah. And that's a great idea as well. In fact, I just took a photo of the other day. About 10 people had their bikes like all tied onto a post, and I was going to send it to our city councilor and ask him if we could please have a bike rack, because I do try to encourage and have them do it. Okay, Lisa?
There's going to be a 10 bike station right in the back pipe.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
that one. And we're thinking about doing white helmets and putting local vendors stickers on them, so we'll work with
Oh, yeah. That would be great. Okay, so you're going to have an actual bike share station. Okay. I just saw the poster today when I was at Michael Thomas Coffee for the Ride Your Bike to Work Day, and it had the map of the shares. Okay, right. Yes.
Just to follow up about your menu mix, you do lots of local, but what percentage of your menu is consistent? Because I know that's a problem for me. I'm a little bit of a picky eater, and if I go somewhere and the one thing on the menu I like isn't available again the next time I go, I don't go back.
Probably at this point, about half of our menu is consistent. When we started out, I had this, what now seems ridiculous, idea that I would change every single thing every week. And that immediately didn't fly. And that's what I'm talking about when I say I really do pay attention to customer feedback. So we keep a fair number of things all the time, especially breakfast things. And our categories always stay the same. We always have 2 soups. We always have 3 sandwiches. We always have 2 entrees. We always have 5 salads. I mean, so, and like we always have the kale salad because people won't let us take it off the menu. But I do need to change things. I mean, in anything I've ever done in my life, I can't just do the exact same thing all the time. So it's probably about half and half, I would say.
How much is your huevos rancheros dish?
On Sunday for brunch, well, we do it on Sundays only.
Sunday only?
Yep, it's a special. It's a brunch special. $9.75. Have you had it? It's very different. Yes. Well, I think we've moved in that direction to some extent. I just can't completely do that. Partly because I go to the market every week and I see what's available, and that's what I build my menu from. But I also know what I can get more long term. So think like kale. I now have people who are growing it year round, and I know I can get it, and I know people love it, so I keep it on the menu. But like we have a spring salad and a summer salad and an autumn salad, we are moving to some extent in that direction. And I thank you, Michael Thomas Roasters. Yes.
You mentioned possibly an investor. How will that help you grow?
There are some things that we need to do that cost money that would help us to be a more visible. We've had a visibility problem, an invisibility problem. A lot of complaints about how people can't find us. Just infrastructure stuff, the possibility of breaking down the wall and opening up that space next door to us, things like that. Yes?
You said you had an invisibility problem. How are you marketing? Because I work around the corner, and I didn't know about you until I started coming here, and I said to you. So I'm just wondering how you're getting your name.
We do a lot on Instagram and Facebook. I find that word of mouth has probably been our best marketing tool of all. And the only control that we have over that really is to try to provide a really good quality and service. I have tried print media, which has failed epically, and I won't do anymore. And little things like putting tables next to the door with umbrellas so people can see us from far away, making the signs in the windows bigger. But I was supposed to have signage on my awnings, and that's a long story I won't present here. But I'm continuing to try to find ways around that. Yes.
Have you tried doing like a radius of food business and just giving out pamphlets or menus to like help out radius business?
We did, and what we were doing on top of that was I had a woman who was on her bicycle twice a week taking menus, flyers with an offer, like a 10% discount on office catering, and samples, and delivering them to 8 to 10 offices within that half-mile radius twice a week. It was great to introduce us, but people forgot us almost immediately. I'm also now working with Boomtime on their new marketing venture, which I'm hopeful about. It's an email thing, and we'll see how that's going to go. Yes.
Have you heard of that company called Deliver Dish? What they do is they pick up the meals and catering from businesses, and they deliver to all over town to different groups that want catering or just want to have it in their own or whatever. They might be able to expand its customer base.
Yeah, I'm not sure if, I know I've heard about a couple of different ones, and I'm not sure if I've heard of that one. Do they take a 30% cut? Yeah, that, I mean, it is a great idea, but it's also hard to do that because of the low profit margin. So, but it's definitely something I've thought about.
Do you have any idea, or do you have a mobile idea? Are you thinking about going mobile with your service at all to try to reach customers that are right outside of your radius and maybe service them?
In terms of delivery? Or
Like a mobile
Open table
cart
or
or food cart?
food cart?
Food cart.
Oh, we're doing a booth at the Growers Market at Civic Plaza on Wednesdays, which I guess is our version of that. Yeah, and that is actually something that last summer we did. It was only open for a few weeks, half the summer, and it was a great marketing tool. People seem to really appreciate finding out that we're just a couple blocks from there, which was, yeah, so. And I would love to be able to do like a little cart. So, yes.
Have you ever done any private events at your place?
Yes.
And how do you market for that? Or is that by pamphlet?
It's on the website. It's probably fairly hidden on the catering page. And also, people ask me, and I tell them. They can't be big events, but we've done smaller, maybe up to 50 people kind of events. We've had, like the arts board I'm on has had some events there. We've had some showers, bridal showers, baby showers. What else have we done? Art openings. I also try to showcase local artists, and we've tried to have a little opening event for each artist when they've. And I know we've done a few other things. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but yes, we're available for that. And that's one of the nice things about being closed early is that we can do evening events. Oh, we've done the Well Women Drinks thing on Wednesdays a couple times. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes.
On the part about your window sign, I've had a couple businesses, but just as far as research goes, bright yellow, I don't know if it works with your restrictions, but bright yellow with black lettering, super large. I always got a ton of interest in just next to people's sign. I don't know if that goes with the decor or your market or your restrictions that you can do there, but just as far as people knowing that you exist right there, so they just happen to drive by and catch your eye.
We need something for sure because I get so many people who say, I drive by here every day and I don't know you're here. So, okay, so yellow. Yes. Oh, she disappeared.
Let's put together a petition and have everyone here sign it. We'll turn it into the landlord's for your
Yes.
sign. I'll help with that, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Zach said you draft it right now.
Wonderful. I think that would help me more than anything.
Got time for about 2 more questions.
Anybody else? There was somebody back there, but they disappeared. Oh, yes.
Where do you see the growth potential is going to come from? Would it be more catering or more walk-in business?
I think the biggest growth potential is more takeout business, which if it's bigger than a certain amount, we'll deliver it. I will deliver it. If we had more steady delivery requests, I would go back to having an actual on-site person on a bicycle delivering. So takeout business, especially at lunchtime, to-go business, and then also the catering, which is growing and has been growing all along, and definitely is a huge help.
Have you thought of working with businesses to do like box lunches for business events and stuff like that?
And I would love to do more of that. We do it, but I wish we could do a lot more of it.
So I think that would partner with that idea of word of mouth. People sitting in an event they have to be at anyway, and they get a good deal at that event, and want to know where that came from.
Yes, and I have seen one lead to another, but I need them to lead even more to another. But you're absolutely right. We love doing that kind of work, especially, small to medium-sized events. And we have gotten referrals from one to the next. I would just like to keep growing that. Things that we can do within our space with about the same amount of staffing, because we can only fit so many people in the kitchen. We could probably double our business with the current space and staff that we have and manage it pretty well.
I was thinking to utilize the space for, if you know your day during the boss lunch the next day, you can pass that day later.
Exactly, and that's what we do. And yes. Right, and I would like to do a lot more of that, and we could handle quite a bit more of that. Yes, definitely. Yes.
One of the things the restaurants around Intel is anybody with an Intel badge gets a discount. You have Lovelace sitting right here, and other businesses like that. You might consider that if you show your badge, you get a discount. And immediately you can word them out within Lovelace and some of these other larger
Companies. Yeah. I was wondering about putting a flyer on every car over here in this Loveless parking lot with something like that on it. What do you think about that idea?
I'd say that's a great start.
Okay.
Like I said, show you bring it out.
Well, yeah, I would say that. I would say exactly what you just said. Mm-hmm.
And what he just said was basically having an Intel badge or having some kind of local badge for local business.
Right. And give a 10% discount. Yes.
Just a quick comment on all your marketing and that effort, because I know it's been a struggle for you for a long time. But there's some consistency. Like your website is beautiful, your shop is beautiful, but then you sponsor the coffee and the thermoses are great, but we have these generic cups. Why aren't they brand?
Because I don't supply them.
Well, you should for any time you supply the coffee, so that we know it's you, and then they go out with us.
Okay.
And if your box lunches, they should be
Currently
branded
sponsored
on
by
the box.
Media Media.
Okay. Okay.
And put the QR code on.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Wait, we have one final question. One final question. What can we as a community do for you now that will help you the most? What can we do now?
Spread the word, I think, would be great.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Any specials today for anybody that attended? Pumpkin donuts, my favorite. I'm just kidding. Put her on the spot. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody who's in attendance, if you come over and say that you were here today, you can have 10% off on your purchase.
And then pay it extra in tip. All right. For announcements, we're not going to take a break where we break apart. We got too many people. So Eric is going to give announcements.
And what we're trying to do, we're sort of playing with the format a little bit, is we've got a couple of sort of guest announcements. If you can join me, there's Julia, there's John. I'm not sure if John would like to join me up here. But before that, I want to thank our sponsors again, Fat Pipe ABQ, awesome space. Lisa's just making things happen downtown. And, this audience and the interaction we're having here is what we're trying to build in our community. Sabio Systems for the coffee, but also Nick Lehman Media and a couple of other folks behind the scenes, also C&M on the, Westwind on the screen. The first thing that I'd like to mention is Get Scrappy. The Scrappy Startup Challenge is sending three startups to South by Southwest. They're getting tickets. They were having a great pitch off coming Monday. And if you want to find more information and you'd also like a discount, the place to go to is getscrappy.org. That's Monday night at the Hyatt, and that's from the New Mexico Technology Council and from ABQID. The code is earlybird, and I see that one lucky attendee will also win a ticket and airfare to Vegas for this South by Southwest venture event. It's just an awesome deal. To do things in terms of order of time, let's, John with the New Mexico Angels, we've got a couple of previous presenters who are here. If you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about what's going on with New Mexico Angels.
So thank you all. We are welcoming Village Capital, which is looking for water-based technology companies this Friday from 8 to 10 at the Flying Store Cafe down on Silver. They're creating a mini accelerator program with capital and with grants. And if you want more information, just find me and I can get you on the list. John's going to talk about the technology celebration at TVC on May 7th. Also this Friday, around 11 o'clock, go to the governor's website. She's making 2 major job announcements specifically in the software space. So if you're looking for a job, there's going to be about 70 jobs announced on Friday at 11 o'clock. The New Mexico Angels are having a meeting tonight and tomorrow up in Albuquerque and Santa Fe. One of the previous presenters from A Million Cups is going to be presenting and asking for capital from us. And lastly, the New Mexico Startup Factory is a technology transfer company that we created, and we're in the process of standing up some more companies. And we're looking for some pharmaceutical advisors, an online teaching advisor, and a hardware software security advisor. And the idea is to get you involved now, and as we move forward, to stand up the companies from technology, 2 from UNM and 1 from Sandia. We would pull in some funding, and it would become a job for y'all. So, thank you. Any questions?
Hi, my name is Julia Jones, and I know a lot of you because I've been coming to 1 Million Cups ever since it came to Albuquerque. I actually met my current employer here, so it's definitely been a success. So this has been, thank you so much to our hosts and also to Fat Pie BBQ. Definitely appreciate it. So I'm with Plug Solar. This is our device right here. This is the Sunport. It's what it does is it matches your energy to 100% solar energy. So whatever you're pulling out of there, it's matching it watt for watt with solar. So the purpose of it is to drive the demand for solar forward. So we are a startup. We went through the ABQID accelerator, and I'm asking for your help on Monday. We're headed to TechCrunch New York, and we have an opportunity to possibly win Disrupt New York. But what we need to win first is a wild card entry. And to win the wild card entry, I need your votes. And it's only going to be for between 6 a.m. and noon on Monday, and I have the instructions to vote right here, so I'm going to pass out the flyer. If you could pass it to the person next to you, I'd greatly appreciate it. Or you can follow us on Twitter at Plug Solar, and the link will be on there. But you could single-handedly be responsible for us winning. So a startup out of Albuquerque, New Mexico could possibly win Disrupt New York because of your guys' votes. And I would really appreciate it if you guys can vote for us. Also, I wanted to throw it out there that we're actively seeking interns. We brought in a few Anderson School students, but we would like to expand. So please get with me if you know anybody who's looking for an internship in regards to digital marketing. So they'd be helping out on our social media platforms. I'm also a volunteer for Catalyst Week. Catalyst Week is the second and third weekend in May. Kind of think of it as a Startup Weekend 2.0, but it's not limited to just startups. It's anybody that has an idea, a project. We all have them. They're stuck in the back burner. You guys wanted, if you want a focused area to get some work done, it's going to be hosted at the Epicenter. We have partnered with some pretty big names. The city of Albuquerque is going to be involved in this as well. So I have that flyer as well. So if you have any questions, please get with me. And thank you so much.
Who's gonna help Plug Solar out? Show of hands. Can you help out on social media? Excellent. We love it. 2 other quick announcements. Combo Trip. They're based right here. They're launching. They've got a party Thursday night. Right here at Fat Pipe. Long-term community supporter among so many other things. A master speaker among other things as well. Technology Ventures Corporation's John Freisinger.
Thanks, Eric. So who volunteered to help Plug Solar? Raise your hands again. I'd like to buy you a beer. In fact, I'd like to buy all of you a beer. I'd like to invite you to my house on Thursday, next Thursday, May the 7th, for free drinks and to get to know what is going on at the national labs here in New Mexico. We're hosting an event in which we have invited the investigators from Los Alamos, Sandia, Air Force Research Lab, the University of New Mexico State University, New Mexico Tech, the Mines Institute, and Loveless Respiratory Research Institute, all to come down to TVC to talk to entrepreneurs here in New Mexico about what they are doing. I have no idea what this will yield, but I've got really bright researchers, I've got beer, and I need entrepreneurs. So, if you would show up, I will buy you a free drink. Here is a flyer that has some directions on how you sign up. If you were just to go to the website and sign up, it's going to cost you $25. But if you use the code ROCK2015, ROCK 2015, you get in free. So please, come take advantage of me. Come to my house next Thursday from 4 to 8, and we'll buy you a beer. I'm going to leave these up front for you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I've taken way too long. Some of you may have noticed we've had a little bit of a problem with the website, which is one reason why meetup.com is just a great place to find information. A lot of folks are signed up, but meetup.com and look for 1 Million Cups Albuquerque. Charles does a great job of updating folks as far as what happens, Charles right over there, what happens during the event. So if you want to catch up, think of something that they said. But again, I've taken way too long, and I would like to hand this off to Tara.
Good morning. Wow, that's loud. I have the pleasure of inviting, where'd Michelle go? Michelle Potter with Potter Decor this morning to talk about her startup. So if you'll give a warm welcome to Michelle.
Thank you. I can honestly say when I attended my first 1 Million Cups presentation in November, I never thought in a million years that I would be standing here before you actually giving a presentation. I remember that day very vividly. It was set, the scene was over, of course, on the other side of that wall. It was a much smaller venue at that time. And I was with my friend Barbara. She and I were both out of work. She now has since moved on to P&M. And after the presentation, we were milling around, and everyone was sharing their business card and talking with one another about where they work. And I had a few people ask me, so, Michelle, what do you do? And I was just literally frozen there for a moment because I thought, what do I do? I don't know right now. I'm out of work. I had been in the dental scene for the past 7 years and was no longer currently working at a dental office. And I was feeling like a fish out of water. And I felt like everyone around me had it together, and it was a really smart group of people, all these IT people and software people. And I thought, this is really cool, but I do not belong. Anyhow, so fast forward. Well, let me actually just share a little bit about my story and just about my new business. When I was in college, the last semester of my senior year, I had a girlfriend invite me over to the art building, and she was involved in an art show. And I remember going into that building for the very first time out of the 4 years of being there, and just being in awe of this beautiful, high-ceilinged, architectural, just gorgeous building, seeing all this amazing art that my fellow seniors were presenting, and thinking, oh my gosh, I had no idea this existed, and it's too late. I would have loved being involved in this program. And my degree was mass communications, and so got a 4-year degree, and I was able to use my degree a little bit after my husband and I got married. I did some public speaking in schools. We went into schools and talked about healthy choices. I did that part-time, and it was very challenging, but also enjoyable. And then I also, on the side, going back to kind of the art thing, I had the opportunity to design and help with some friends' homes, and also did some designing of some office spaces. So. And as a little girl, just when I would be at home, I drove my mom crazy because I constantly, literally about every month or so, I would redecorate my room. I'd be in there myself, little girl, just pushing all the furniture around and getting everything the way that I thought it would be really cool. So I was a stay-at-home mom for years then, and like I said, did some things part-time. And then when our oldest was actually a junior in high school here in Albuquerque, she had a girlfriend that she brought home who happened to be, long story, but happened to be in an abusive, very unsafe living situation, and we ended up bringing her into our home. So at that point, I realized, both my husband and I realized that I needed to get back into the workforce and work full-time and actually help out with all the finances and all the things that come up with teenagers. And so that's when I was offered a full-time position at a dental office. And it wasn't a dream job, but it paid well, and it helped during those expensive teen years. So as I mentioned earlier, back in November, I was out of a job, and I was in the process of applying for another front desk position, since that was the kind of experience that I had. And then I had a really cool thing happen. I had a girlfriend who I knew through a boot camp that I'm involved in ask me if I would be willing to decorate her upstairs guest room and bathroom. And it was during that process of going out and picking things out and painting the room and figuring out the space and furniture placement and whatnot, that again, I was just brought back to the idea that this is what I love to do. This is my sweet spot. I just absolutely could do this morning, noon, and night. I dream about it, think about it. Whenever I go into any new space, people's homes, I'm constantly rethinking their space and thinking about what colors would be beautiful. And so anyway, during that time, I just knew that that's what I love doing. But while working on these spaces, I was then hired on again at another dental office. I went to the office and worked for 2 days. By the end of the second day, I remember sitting at that front desk, and the phones are ringing, and I'm doing all the things that you do at a front desk office job. And I just thought, I hate this. This is not me. This is not where my heart is. So on the third day, I quit. And I talked to my husband, and I just said, I love decorating. I love doing this. Is it possible that we could try to make this work? And after looking at our finances and whatnot, my very kind and sweet husband said, yes, I think this is something that we could launch. And it was right around this time also that I remember hearing two separate things that were really cool. I think it was on a television show or something. I heard some older women who were being interviewed about their lives and their careers, and this person who was interviewing them was asking them each the same question, and that was, if you could talk to your younger self, what would you say to your younger self? And each woman ended up saying that they wished they would have pursued what they love, that they said life is too short, you should not hate your job, and that you should love what you do. And so it was another reminder to me that, okay, I'm gonna really go for it. Also, around this time, I heard, I think it was the Today Show, where they were saying that the median age of women has moved up to 81 years old. And I sat there and thought, okay, I have 36 years left. So with the next 36 years, I want to do something that I enjoy. I want to do something that is important to me. And so I decided I'm going to go for it. And so I needed my husband's help. And like I said, we sat down and have worked on this together. And I started Potter Decor. And so he is going to come up and share some of the other aspects of the business that I don't quite, get.
Well, I don't get it either, but I really want to hear from you, because we're about a month old is all that we are. And all I wanted to do was, first of all, she said I looked at the finances and said, yes, let's do it. I looked at the finances and I went, no, you cannot do this. And then I looked at her and she was so sad. I said, well, happy wife, happy life, so we'd better do it. So we are at the very bottom floor of this. We're at the very bottom floor of this, but one of the things that we're trying to do, and when we talk about getting the word out, Michelle does have a couple of jobs lined up right now, and so we started a Facebook page, and I would encourage all of you to go to the Facebook page. It's Facebook/Potter Decor ABQ. And one of the things that I think is really interesting, and the way that we can promote this is, if you can't see it from the back, I couldn't even see this from the third row. But we have 135 likes on our Facebook page right now, but she just finished a project last week, and we put up the before and after pictures, which really are stunning. You have to see them. She really does have a gift. But you'll see that with 135 likes, people shared it enough that 1,377 people have been reached to see these before and after pictures. And so we realized that the more before and after pictures that she has, the more this thing is going to grow, because that's what people want to see. So we're using Facebook to try to promote her work. The next page, or the next one. This is you either love this or hate this, but we are putting these signs all over town at the places where you can put them, like Flying Star. And I was thinking, you could put a pretty rose and say, "Come make your space look better. Let Michelle help." But if you've seen those walls, they are packed full of advertisements, and so I thought we've got to come up with something creative. We're looking at a target audience of probably people in their 40s or higher who have the money to either have their residences done or office spaces. Would be people that are a little bit more established. Those people are around our age. Hopefully they know this Bobby Brady reference or Peter Brady reference. Does anybody know this reference? Okay, a couple of you. It's awesome. So I was trying to get something that will catch people's attention, because there's so many signs out there, but to send people to her website. So again, we're a month old, and we would love to hear what you have to say. Questions?
Obviously word of mouth is what's pushing right now. I'm going to suggest something that has worked for a number of businesses that we've done. All right, it's meetup.com, and you say, learn how to rearrange your own house. People will come, and you can teach them how you've done this, and somebody's going to go, I could never do that, would you please? And you'll teach 10 or 15 people, and 3 people will say, could you please just do it for me?
Great.
And so that would be something that one way to do to accelerate.
Meetup.com. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
First of all, I really admire what you do. I'm very similar in that type of work. And I'm wondering if you guys even consider doing a partnership. I'm a professional organizer, and I kind of do something like this, but probably before you actually come in and do the decor and the decorating, where I go in and work with clutter, work with, a lot of externalities. So I was wondering, maybe we can talk on the side or whatnot, but we can work together.
Yes.
Partnerships as far as having someone to refer to my clients and say, you don't not only want a clean and decluttered space, how about enhancing the entire space? And that's what you guys
Yes.
come in. I would totally be up for a conversation like that.
Great.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Well, I'd like to just say that it's an awesome idea, because Michelle is the one that helped me. I'm a business owner and a water resources manager. No time. So I did ask her to come in, and she totally reformed my house. It's absolutely gorgeous. She does have talent. She can look at a sterile room and come up with something I cannot. But now I have an upstairs full of clutter.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because when we were toying around with this has not been something that just happened overnight. We've been toying around with how we can get her into her sweet spot for years. We had a website before called declutterbymichelle.com. And we realized that that's not quite the sweet spot, but that is a need that goes along with this, is decluttering. And so, thank you. We'll talk. Yes. Yes.
Just, I'm also a professional.
Oh,
But
cool.
what I was going to say is testimonials. You need testimonials, and you need to post those on your Facebook page along with the before and afters.
Yes.
Because it's the feeling people are left with that's more important than yourself.
Okay. So she was saying that we need testimonials on our website. And I have a page. I'm the web designer. See, I've been working with nonprofits for about 15 years. I know how to do the basic bones of web design because I've learned in nonprofits how to work with no money at all and make things smoke and mirrors. And so we're trying really hard. I do have a page set up with testimonials. Right now I have 3. And so it would look kind of weird and empty. We do have some of our testimonials on our Facebook page, but I'm hoping to garner more business at some point where we can have a page that has a little bit more on there other than, that was really cool. Thank you, Michelle. And then there's like cricket, 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 so. But yes, thank you. Yeah. Right.
It's an experience to be there. And as much as photographs are, they aren't 3D. They can't put you in that space. So if you can add that element to what it is that you're saying.
Great. Thank you.
Once they get there,
Yeah.
you got something more to engage.
Okay. Yeah, we toyed around with the idea of, after we've done a job, if someone is willing, letting us have them tell their story while they're sitting in the new space on video, that we can put that online. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Someone down here.
When I was in the mortgage business, I used to do what was called a mortgage checkup. And I know insurance companies have now gone to an insurance checkup. So one of the things that I think would be something great would be to offer a home decor checkup where you actually go in, sit with them in their house and say, yeah, that fan is probably circa 1978. Maybe you should go to a chandelier or something along that line. And I think that would probably at least help you start establishing, getting in the door, and also start partnering with some realtors.
Yeah.
Realtors would be a great asset to you.
It's part of our business plan is to get in with realtors. So if you know any realtors, or if you are a realtor and are looking for that, we would love suggestions on that. It's hard to break into that because so many realtors already are established and have kind of their go-to people. But and he also talked about doing a home decor checkup, which is a good idea. We've been billing it as, we'll come in and do a free consultation, or she will, I won't. But that may be the better lingo, since that has some traction. Yes.
Two things. One, C&M holds realtor classes, so don't meet with new realtors ready to break in. Start with the new guys. And two, there's a bunch of new home builders. There's a lot of home buildings going on right now. Go talk to those guys and say, hey, I'll do your home, I'll do your decor and layout for free if you, present something and give my business card.
Okay. So connecting with realtor classes and home builders. Thank you. Yes.
And also just some of the business licenses that they have, in the newspaper, calling them and sort of asking if you could work with them to open a business and sort of promote that as you go. That might be an interesting kind of thing to start. So you're the business is actually about to open, but you're also
Right.
helping them, recreate or create this new space.
Mm-hmm.
That would be good listening for folks.
And what's that you're saying? What is it? It's a
Like new business licensing, people that are
about to get new businesses. Yeah.
if you notice that there's things going on in a new place, or, you know what I mean? Do some research on that.
Right. Or 95% of the doctors and dentists in town, they need help too. Yeah. Yeah.
Something more, like, no offense to the office.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of the things we're trying to figure out, how to get in on the ground floor with people that don't know yet that they might need that, and that's where we're trying to figure out how to get into that. So that's a good. Right. Yes, right here. Mm-hmm.
A nursery, physician's flowers, packaging it with a certain price, because, that would be the way.
Yeah, so packaging different aspects of doing it. Yeah.
One room at a time.
Yeah.
So it's not overwhelming.
Change your world one room at a time. Right. That would be awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yes, sir.
There's actually a local startup called With Thumbs by Terry Wiggins that kind of accelerated the
What's it called? It's some. Okay. Okay. Can you write that down? Thank you. Okay, great. Yes, right here and then over here.
While residential might be your primary focus, I noticed there are a lot of luxury apartments that are going up. You might be able to approach some of those, and you would be able to do multiple rooms for their staging or for their decor, for their show apartments, and that way you would have added portfolio showing the different rooms and versatility of your decor.
Okay. Yeah, it's just trying to figure out who those contacts are. So if you know of any of these contacts or can even vouch for her a bit and say, hey, I heard her, would you talk with her? It's so hard to break in. Just like with anything, no one wants to just take something cold turkey and, so, but thank you. I guess this is the final question, or two quick ones.
Another easy move might be pushing for something like
Angie's List. Right. Yes, Angie's List.
So, an idea to bolster your testimonial page is make it easy on the client. It would be out of line after you finish a job to have a conversation based on working with you and what you told us you like. This is what I heard, and as you know, I grow my business. Would you consider writing us a testimonial? I created a draft.
That's good.
Here's how it looks. Feel free to edit it however you like. But
Okay.
it gets them motivated, started, and it allows you to focus and craft the message you want to convey. In that
Okay. That's a great idea. So these are the things that I heard you say, or I've heard over the time that we've been together. Can you please confirm or change, and then kind of have a template? Thank you. Thank you.
So the last question that we ask is, what can this community do for you?
So obviously word of mouth is really important, but as you all are just kind of thinking through your own space right now, your home, your office, is it an inviting space? Is it someplace where you're able to really think and produce and work well? And if it's not, then call me and I'll help you out.
And like us on Facebook and share the pictures, because that seems to get a lot of traction. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Hartford Square and to Potter Decor for presenting this morning.